This is a comparative study of success of various techniques of ILM peel in management of RRDs with PVR more than C1 and concomitant macular hole. Incidence of macular hole in RD varies from 2.5 to 4%, and majority of them are associated with PVR. We are well aware that macular hole happens because of a pull of vitreous on the macula, or basically because of the tangential traction. ILM peeling technique as well as inverted ILM peeling technique has increased the success rate of full thickness macular hole in attached retina. Does it hold true in detached retina was the question. Our aim was to assess the anatomical and functional success of vitrectomy in patients with RRD with PVR equal to or more than C1 and coexisting macular hole using different management strategies of ILM peel. This is a prospective non-randomized interventional study where 23 eyes were divided into 3 groups. Group 1 had just plain vitrectomy with membrane peels. Group 2 had ILM peel, and Group 3 had inverted ILM peel. Patients with myopia more than 6 diopters or PVR less than C1 and recurrent RDs were excluded from the study. This is a preoperative OCT of few of the patients where we could acquire it. In fact, OCT was not possible in a majority of the cases, and macular hole size and OCT predictors could not be ascertained in majority. 10 patients intraoperatively were detected to have macular hole, possibly because of large bullous RD and severe PVR. Technique was standard 23 gauge vitrectomy in all the cases without encircling band. ILM peeling was done in group 2 and 3 as mentioned. All the patients received silicone oil tamponade. Baseline characteristics across the 3 groups in terms of age, sex, and preoperative visual acuity matched. 3 patients in no peel group had recurrent retinal detachment, while only 1 patient out of 10 in peel group had recurrent retinal detachment. None of the patients in inverted ILM peel group had recurrent retinal detachment. Recurrent retinal detachment was assessed at the end of 3 months following silicone oil removal. KM plot showed a significant p-value of 0.029, indicating that wherever the ILM peeling was done in ILM peel groups, the recurrent rate was lesser, and importantly, if the recurrence had to happen, it happened at a later period postoperatively. 2 patients had PVR-related recurrent retinal detachment. 2 patients in no peel group had macular hole opening. 1 had associated peripheral PVR, while 1 had simple macular hole reopening leading to recurrent retinal detachment. This is a representative post-operative fundus photograph taken at 1 month and OCTs at 1 month of no ILM peel and ILM peel group. While this is a fundus photograph taken at 1 month in an inverted flap group, this is OCT at first post-operative day where you can see the ILM material stuffed in the macular hole, while this is at 1 month where you can see near normal restoration of the macular structure. Post-operative visual gain was significant in ILM peel groups compared to no peel groups, though it did not come it didn't become statistically significant. So to conclude, better macular hole closure and retinal reattachment rate was achieved with inverted ILM flap technique in cases of RRD with concomitant macular hole and significant PVR. And this is about single surgery success rate. Visual gain is seen more in inverted ILM peel group compared to no peel groups. Though challenging and not free of complications, inverted ILM peel can be considered as a procedure of choice in these cases. Yes, the limitation is ours was a small sample group, and we need large randomized studies to confirm our results. Thank you. And meanwhile, this has come in for publication in the Egyptian Retinal Journal. Thank you.
Prashant, excellent presentation. What did you do when you used the inverted flap and there was no peripheral break?
These are all, I said, rhegmatogenous retinal detachment with associated PVR C1. It was not just detachment because of plain macular hole.
No, I meant whether there was a peripheral break.
Yes, all the cases had peripheral break as well, ma'am. Concomitant macular hole was my word.
Okay.
when you said that the incidence of recurrent detachment was higher when ILM peeling or inverted flap was not done, is it to suggest that the recurrence was because of an open macular hole and because of the inverted flap closed the macular hole, or was the recurrence not related to macular hole?
As I said, we had recurrence, two macular holes opened. One had associated peripheral PVR and a break. One had just opening up of the macular hole in no peel group.
So do
So
you
at this
think that
point,
your,
we,
do
yeah,
you think
sorry.
your inverted flap is helping to keep the hole closed and
Yeah.
not allowing it to open?
Yes, probably yes, ma'am. That's what our hypothesis is, that it helps in better closure and better prevention unless a PVR pulls it up. And in only one case in no peel group, as you said, there was a spontaneous opening as well. So that is what we presume from this particular study at this point of time.
Other question, I think we highlighted this earlier also in the prelim session, is that your choice of doing a peel, if you see a hole that on settlement on putting in PFCL is very small, would you still go in for ILM peeling? In other words, does the size matter in your study here?
No, once we had randomized it, we really didn't bother about it, whether it's a small size. Basically, even as I said, pre-operative OCTs could not ascertain the actual size of the hole because of the fluid. So we had randomized, and once randomized, the whole size was not taken into consideration.
There was just one question regarding the technique, sir. All inverted flap, you have used PFCL. But those who are associated with non-peeling, there you have not used PFCL for the center part stabilization. You have done the direct fluid air exchange.
No, what I did is I never did in any of these cases. I don't peel ILM under PFCL. First thing, I use PFCL in inverted flap technique only to reposit the stuffed tissue, to stuff the tissue. That's it. Second thing, never was macular hole used for drainage. We always use peripheral hole for drainage of the SRF.
Yeah, because if we majority of the cases, if we do the drainage from the periphery, then there is always a possibility of some amount of the remaining fluid. And in your inverted flap group, as because the use of PFCL, so there is no residual fluid. So do you think that may be one of the reasons for for the recurrence?
I didn't say, I said I used PFCL for flattening of the holes in all the cases, and then PFCL FAX was done in all the cases. Regarding ILM peeling, I used ILM PFCL as a support only for stuffing the thing and not for peeling the ILM.